So within Fusion, we have different type of models. So the first one over here, this will be a mesh, as we can see. So this has been imported from Blender. The second one over here, this will be an extrude. In this case, we're gonna do that within the solid environment over here. We have then surface, which will be the following. This one will be sheet metal, and the last one will be a freeform. So we're going to go ahead and see what will be the difference between these type of files and how we can generate and work with them. So I'm going to go ahead and I will start a new design. And the first model that I'm going to load in will be the default cube from Blender. So we have it over here. I already have this exported as an OBJ. So within Fusion, I'm going to go within Insert Mesh, and I will select that from the desktop, which will be the following, so cube. We're going to see over here, when we import this, for the unit type, by default, we're going to have this set to millimeters. This will mean that 1 unit from the original file will equal 1 millimeter, but Blender is defined in meters, so I'm going to go over here with meters. I'm going to click OK, and we're going to see that this will be the mesh. We can go ahead within the mesh environment and we can convert this to a solid body, but I will leave it like this. So the main utility of a mesh like this is that we can do various measurements, but we cannot directly work with this 3D model. So we can go ahead and we can use some tools like Combine in order to do some cutouts, but we don't have that parametric workflow directly with meshes. So the second type of model will be solid model. So I'm going to go ahead and I will create a new sketch. In this case, I will choose a predefined plane over here, so X and Z. You're going to see over here that this is currently set over here within camera to be perspective. So I'm going to go within orthographic view. And I'm going to go to the side and I will create a new rectangle. In this case, I will define this to be 2000 by 2000. And I also want to use smart dimension in order to align this at 2 meters. And I want this to be on the middle, so I'm going to add 1000 over here. And this will be the sketch for the solid cube. In this case, if I will now extrude this, I can go to be symmetric. So the distance will be 1 meter. And this will be the output. The main difference is that if I will do a section over here, I will have this filled with material. So the mesh that we brought in from Blender or other 3D modeling tools will not be filled if we don't convert that within the mesh environment within a solid body. Now for the third one, I'm going to go over here within surface, and I will start from the same plane with a new rectangle. The same values, so 2000 by 2000. I'm gonna make this at, in this case, 6 meter will be the following. So as you can see over here, this is currently set to be within perspective view. So if I will go over here within camera orthographic, this will be the layout, and we're gonna see that in this case 5000 will be at the same distribution. I can now go ahead and I can extrude this. So I can go the same within one direction and go symmetric to the other side. I can add the value to be the same. But as you can see over here, those faces will not be filled with material. So I will need to go ahead and I will need to patch those. If I will start with the one over here on the back, I can select it. We're going to see that the visualization will look like this with the same gray shading material. But if I will redo the same patch over here onto the front, it will look like this. We can also have those inversed. I'm going to press S, I'm going to type in inverse. We have over here inverse selection, but this will be normal. So reverse normal, and the first one will be for surfaces. And we can go ahead and if you want to, one of those surface, we can have it flipped onto the other side. But if I will now go within a section, within the same plane, I'm going to flip this, we're going to see that this model on the interior will be the same as the one imported from Blender. And if you don't want this to no longer be active, we can either have this deleted or we can have it suppressed in this case, and that means it will no longer be active. Keep in mind that if you're gonna see that some faces will be yellow, you can always flip the normals, because that's just the visual representation of that. Now for the next one, I'm gonna go with sheet metal component. So I will select the same plane over here, and I'm gonna go over here somewhere to the side, and I will create a new rectangle, 2000 by 2000. I can also add the following dimension over here, so 8000 in this case for the third one. And I can also go ahead and I can add this dimension to be 1000 if I want it to be on the middle. But by default, if I will just go with the base flange in this case, this will not work because I will need to do a small cutout where those elements will be joined together. So let's go ahead over here, and within one of the corners, I'm gonna go ahead and I will do a small cutout. So I can initially create a line. I can add over here a dimension, let's see, 2 millimeters. And now I can go ahead and I can trim those. So in this case with the trim tool, I'm gonna delete that small segment and then those two sides. And with this sketch, we can now go ahead and we can create the base flange. And that means just like within surface, I can go ahead and I can define the distance. I have over here the orientation, but we can also make this symmetric as well. So the main difference is that this will be within sheet metal, and that means I can go ahead and I can have this folded. So for example, if I'm just going to select this, unfold all bands, you're going to see that this will unfold as following. So even though it will look similar to this one without those patch faces over here, which I can go ahead and I can suppress, the main difference is that over here I'm going to have that thickness. So regarding of how we defined the first component in this case, we can also specify that dimension over here. So we can go ahead and we can edit that, and we're going to see over here the default band radius in this case is 2.5 millimeters, which will be added to the corners, but to the other corners where I didn't make that small cutout. Now the next type of elements that we can have defined will be freeform. So we can enable freeform over here. I can create a new part, then I can, let's say I want to create this within the origin. So I can create it within that following plane, and I can go ahead and I can define a new box for which I can input the same values, 2000 by 2000. And we're going to see that by default, I will also have to select it and move it over here. And by default, it will be rounded like this. If we no longer want those elements to be rounded, we can go ahead and we can uncrease this. So we have over here uncrease. I can select those elements. So let me just go with crease in this case, not uncrease. And I can go ahead and I can do that selection. If I'm going to hold down shift, that will actually add to the selection. So I will need to add all of those round corners, so all of those points, in order to make them as the default cube. And now I can go ahead and I can finish the form. So visually it will look the same. The main difference is that depending on the parameters that we set within this freeform, we're going to have those faces splitted. And by having those splitted, we can go ahead and we can further change the shape over here and work with those individual elements. So we can have them scaled, we can have them rotated, and so on. But if we just gonna check the objects like this, if I will change over here the visibility, so let me just go back to the front view, and I want to change the visual style to be, for example, shaded. They will look like this. So the first one is the mesh, second one solid component over here, surface for the third one, sheet metal, and the last one will be freeform, which we can go ahead and we can use those modifications tool in order to define that shape. So these are the type of elements that can be added within Fusion. So they will each follow an individual workflow as we saw over here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. I'm gonna put over here on the left side a similar video, and I will also add a subscribe button to the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.